David Sussman, the CEO of Valcor Worldwide, a small business consulting firm, joining us now. Great to see you again, David.
Hi, Lauren. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, you know, it's a little concerning, the things that are going on. You get good news, the jobs report, and then you get bad news. We'll start off with how small businesses are feeling out there. The latest report, not terrible, but the terrible part of the report is that looking forward, these small businesses aren't that optimistic, are they?
Yeah, not so much. Small business is rated by the NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Businesses. They have something called the Small Business Optimism Index, and it's been fairly low for a while. It went up about 1% for November, and what we're seeing is that there's still some significant concerns for small business owners regarding the future.
Yeah, the level 92.5 and the outlook 6 months out. Pretty concerning. What are small businesses concerned about? Taxes, healthcare, what is it? All of them?
Yeah. The number one issue is regulations. You know, there's just a tremendous amount of oversight now by Washington, the Fed, the different agencies in Washington that are overseeing, such as the EPA, small businesses. And so regulations is by far the number one concern. Taxes as well. Poor sales is third, and right behind that, obviously being an issue right now because of Obamacare, we're seeing that the cost and availability of insurance for small business employers and what that's going to look like for the next year.
Those are so many big issues that we could spend an hour tackling each one. You speak of regulation. I think of big business, big banks. I think of the Valcor rule, arguably not a good thing. In terms of small businesses, regulation obviously a problem. Not understanding regulation or knowing or how to prepare for whatever it is to come, definitely a hurdle. As is, you know, next week we have the last Fed meeting of the year. As is this potential taper or that pullback of stimulus, and then the eventual hike in interest rates. How does that affect everybody?
Well, it's going to affect the consumer, which is going to affect small business. The fact of the matter is that if they are going to start tapering, that will eventually lead to higher interest rates. And we are a consumer-based economy. 70% of the economy is based upon consumer spending. And if it costs you more to service your debt, you're unlikely to purchase more. And that includes mortgages for homes, commercial real estate, goods and products, services that you would fill your homes with, such as appliances, cars, whatever it may be. And if it's more expensive, people are going to spend less.
Yeah, less discretionary spending because you're spending more to pay down your debt. Get it. You know, we've kind of seen the tightening of rates a little bit this year, particularly mortgage rates. How has that affected the housing industry?
Well, we're starting to see that the last 3 months are plateauing a little bit. I think there's two reasons for that, Lauren. Two reasons. Number one being the interest rates have come up ever so slightly. But number two, from what we've been reading, about 50% of all the purchases for residential real estate have been investors. So these are people that are looking to buy portfolios of properties and homes and rent them out. And they're now pulling back. And so if you're losing 50% of the market, and obviously you're going to have a little bit of a slowdown, and we're starting to see that plateau. Now, in certain areas around the United States, you've still got some pockets where there are bubbles. Your bigger cities, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, for example. But it is starting to level out a little bit.
David, what do you want to hear from the White House right now? What would be the best Christmas gift that you can get under the tree? Certainty.
Yeah, what we're hearing from our clients, Lauren, is we have no clue what's going on with insurance, with what is expected of us. Every day the laws are changing, the rules are being changed. And so as a business owner, if I've got employees, let's say I've got 39, 40, 50, 45 employees, how much is it going to cost me next year to pay for the insurance for my employees? Am I going to be able to afford the insurance? I have no clue.
And our consumers still going to buy my products because of all of these things facing the regular, typical American Joe consumer.
Yeah, and again, going back to the NFIB survey, poor sales were the third highest concern behind regulations and taxes. So, you know, Wall Street's done fairly well because the quantitative easing has been filtering money into the economy.
Stocks.
But the consumer is the one that spends, and the consumer is the one that keeps the small businesses alive.
Yeah, and that's interesting you say this because I thought Black Friday passed, but Walmart is saying today that they're doing a new Black Friday. It starts this Friday for more deals. Goes to show you that I don't know about Walmart's inventory in particular, but I guarantee you there are many retailers out there, big and small, who have so much inventory that they're sitting on because people aren't buying it despite the fact that everything's 40 and 50% off. I was reading some of your notes, David, and you said the federal budget, we have a potential deal on our hands. You said that would, even though that's a good thing, consumers wouldn't spend a lot even though we have a deal. And it is affecting Wall Street today. You'd imagine that stocks would be up.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I did this morning was I took a look at the index. I was expecting some form of a reaction by the market. And I think people have had kind of, especially Wall Street, have had kind of a meh response. Really? I mean, what they're doing, and it's what they have been doing for years and years now, is kicking the can down the road. You know, let's not deal with the impending debt, and let's not deal with the concerns regarding the unfunded liabilities of Medicare and Social Security. Let's just kick the can down the road and let's get past the election. And this is all the politicians seem to care about, getting past the next election. And whether it's 2014, 2016, it will be again 2018. And meanwhile, you know, you're $16 trillion in debt and you've got about 70 trillion in unfunded liabilities. Nobody is talking about this.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's purely political. And I blame both sides on this. And so the business owner, and again, you know, my focus is dealing with small business owners, which I believe is the backbone of the economy. They look at this and they look at Washington and they think, are these guys kidding? Nobody is answering the number one question, and that is the financial viability and reliability of the United States of America. What is going to happen with this economy if we keep going down this road?
David Sussman, we dealt with a lot of big issues in this short interview. Great job tackling that with us. I think we could break it down with small businesses want confidence and certainty for Christmas. Thank you so much, David Sussman, the CEO of Valcor Worldwide. Sites up on the screen.